All right, hi, welcome everyone. I'm especially excited today because I'm here with Josh Rook, who's a cellular health expert. He has a company called Vitality Futures. He's even written a book called How to Improve Cellular Health. And he's agreed to take a little time out and to help us with some simple explanations on a new technology we're about to have in our hands called the Healy Coil. And I love hearing from Joss because he has such a great way of explaining things in a very simple manner. And I know that is going to be welcome for many of us in this new technology. So Joss,
All right.
taking time.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me. And when you asked me earlier this week, it was a good reason for me to think about what does it mean, the Healy coil. I do a lot of research into cellular health, but I'm not a quantum physicist. So also for me, it's finding out what it actually means. But on the other hand, I only want to understand it to the level that I need it. I can make it at Einstein level, but I myself don't understand it, and other people don't understand it. And people in my teams also ask me, how do I interpret this new piece of hardware that you see on the screen? And it's a small piece of hardware that you can push into your Healy. You can see here, it's where you normally would put your wires, and it's at the back of your Healy below the clip. That's it is. And the important thing is this circle that you can see, because it's all about the circles inside this thin extra piece of hardware. And to explain it, I first talk a little bit about the Tesla coil. As Marcus has said often, he's a very big fan of Tesla, and he also has in his office this device with which you can make current, a sort of Tesla coil current thing. He showed it to us in one of his meetings. And this actually is what the Tesla coil is all about. It's about two electromagnetic fields creating a current in between. And you could even compare, that's why I took this picture, you can even compare it with lightning. Lightning also occurs when different polarities, warm weather and cold weather, get together and they collapse and they create a current. And that is what Tesla was telling about. You don't need wires to transport current from one place to another. If you have different polarities, you can create it in the air. Let me say it like this, you can create it in the air. And of course, if you look at some of the horror movies like Frankenstein in the past, this would be a way to electrocute people or to create strange things. But of course, that's not what it is about, because it's a very low level current, like the current we have in our wires. So this is the concept behind the coil, the Tesla coil, and the fact that you can create a current with different magnetic fields. That's the basic idea about it. Now, how did they create that in this thin coil? Well, actually, the Bifilar coil, I don't know what the exact pronunciation in English is all about this electromagnetic wire that has been how should I say it? They made a circle out of it. And it's very closely spaced towards each other. So you have two of those coils, two of those wires closely connected. That's also what Marcus shared with us this week. There are two of those coils closely together, and they have different polarities, and they create that current. So they can create that current. It's like plus and minus, it's a difference. It's like the lightning I was talking about. So these two coils, they create a current in between. And then you have two ways of creating a current. One is if they are different, then they magnify it, or they magnify the current. And the other way is if they are parallel, then you get scalar waves. because scalar waves means that you have two frequencies, same frequencies, coming together, and they neutralize each other, and they become independent of space and time. And that is what we do with Healy resonance. So with the Healy resonance, we create a scalar wave, which means we actually create a frequency which is not a frequency, and that has no time and place. And that is also why we can connect it with people over distance, because we connect people on that level. You know, can compare it with a mobile phone. We call each other, and in the same moment that we connect, we are in different places in the world. There is no time and place. We are connected. So this little piece of hardware contains these two things that create a current. And that is also why the idea was that this coil, this little device that can create a current in the air, so not using a wire, but in the air, could replace the wires. Well, that's not the exact situation. So how you have to interpret it, that actually we are now going to work, let's say, on three levels. We have the physical level, the cellular level. That is when we work with microcurrents. We send the current using an exact frequency exactly to the cells where we need it. And the energy is being applied to the cells to improve the energy production of the cell itself. When we do that, when we improve the energy production of the cell, it means that the energy in our body, the information in our body improves, because the cells share the energy they produce. And now with the Healy coil, we connect with that energy field, with the existing energy, with the cells. Actually, the opening of the cells and closing of the cells to get nutrition in or out is also a magnetic process, because every cell has a plus polarity on the outside and minus on the inside. And changing that plus and minus, that's a physical process, that changing plus and minus, that is the way cells open and close. So that's also a biomagnetic exercise, actually. So there's energy being used to open it up and close it again. So with the Healy coil, we create a current. If you have been to the meeting this week, the Tuesday meeting with Marcus, you saw a picture with a sort of a cone on both sides. So for a certain space, there is a current that, of course, will get weaker the farther that you get from the coil itself. And that is also why we have to wear the Healy close with the coil, close to our body, because it has a limited range that the current can go to. So the next level above the microcurrent is that we send currents into the body that will touch the cells, but it will also touch the existing energy field or the existing information field. And then we have that third level, the resonance level, that is based on the scalar waves where there is no time and place. And we touch the highest level of information, of intention, of feelings. Now, I always say when working with the microcurrent, we work bottom up. We start at the physical level, we support the cells, and when the cells become better in energy production, our whole body gets more energy, and that is the energy we use to live and be healthy. On the other hand, with Healy resonance, we touch what we think and what we feel. We touch our intentions. We touch the information field. We are at a higher level of consciousness. And we all know that if we can improve the way we think and feel, in the end, it will have a positive effect on our physical body as well. As we know that the other way around also works. If we have negative thoughts, negative emotions, stress, that will have a negative effect on our physical body. And now with the coil, that is why I put it in between. It's not actually in between, but that is the easiest way to understand it. With the coil, on the one hand, we work with current, like the wires, but we don't use wires. We send it directly into the energy field. And it has a limited range, so we need to hold it to our body. Whereas the scalar waves of the resonance are independent of time and place. So the explanation of the coil is rather simple in a way that we create two magnets, two magnetic fields. Those two fields can create a current, and that current is a current with a limited range going through the air. That's why we wear it close to our body, and it can influence the energy field that is in our body, can influence the cells connected with those energy fields. And you can see it as a way of using your Healy in a different way. So why would you need a Healy coil? Well, it gives more different ways to influence your bioenergetic field. That's what I always say when people ask me, do I need the resonance or do I need the microcurrent? I always say, you need them both. Use them both. Because with the one, the resonance, you influence your intentions, your feelings, your emotions. And with the wires, your physical body. And when I take that stress example, we know that it can have an effect on your physical body, your stomach, your digestive system, whatever that is being affected by stress. So if I can send microcurrents into the body to support my stomach, to support my digestive system, working bottom up, but at the same time, I can influence the way I feel and think to reduce the stress, then in the end, I will solve all problems at my intentional level, at the level of my thoughts and feelings, and also at my physical level. And now with the coil, I have an extra option. And I don't see it as the same way as running the microcurrents, because you are not working directly on that physical level. It's not the same as working on the resonance level, but it's an extra option that you have, for example, to use it when you don't want to use the wires. And often if you are working or you want to do, you want to be active and you also want to run your Healy programs, the wires get in between. And now with the coil, you can work at a similar level as with the wires, not exactly the same, but have a similar effect without the wires. So it's also easier to have your Healy with you. And wherever you are, if you think I need a program or I want a program, you simply run it and you put your Healy in your pocket or wherever. Nobody sees it, but you're still working with it at a similar level as the microcurrents. And of course, if you are a Healy World member, you're not gonna put your Healy away, but you want to have it visible, but still you don't have the wire. So that's, in my opinion, how I can best explain the Healy coil to you as an in-between option between the resonance and the microcurrents with ease of use and giving you an extra option to influence your bioenergetic field. And that is what it is all about. Is that clear, Tony?
Yes, that is very clear, and I knew you would do a great job in making it as simple as it could possibly be. So that's exactly the thing I believe will help people to have the full picture in their mind and to see where the coil fits into it.
Yeah.
How it fits in and doesn't replace, but it adds on to what we already have available. Yeah, perfect. So I want to thank you for taking the extra time and putting this together so quickly and doing it so simply. And you know, there's going to be, of course, more questions that come up, and I would love to do another little session with you in the future if you have time for that. We would absolutely love that.
No problem.
Okay, great. You heard it.
we can only help each other, you know, as Healy users and Healy members, to make this this product a success for everybody, because it's a great product.
Absolutely agree.
All right.
Absolutely agree. We all work together and it's better.
Yeah, definitely it is.
All right. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you for taking your time to learn about this, and
Sure.
have a fantastic, beautiful day.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.